Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Vibes Podcast. I am Kelly Renato, your host, a mom of two, and a fitness and health enthusiast and encourager. I'm on a mission to help moms feel good about themselves, find time for themselves, and get their strength back so that every single day they can show up how they want to. I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed, unhealthy as a mom, anxious, worn out, and never enough. That is why I want to share with you every single week simple choices that have helped me to feel more confident and content. Each week I'll bring you a short dose of inspiration for you and your family, empowering you to show up for yourself, love who you are, and encouraging you to become more intentional every day with your choices so that you can feel stronger, more confident, and fulfilled. Are you ready to truly love who you are? Get out of that rat race, know that you're enough, and follow the path that you want to? It's time to nurture your mind, body, and soul. You get to make this choice every single day, and I want to help you. Let's start today. You ready? Here we go. Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Vibes Podcast. I'm Kelly Renato, and thank you so much for joining in with me today. I'm going to jump right into it because, as always, I try to keep this quick, short, and just a bit of encouragement for you to take about your day and something for you to take away with. So today we're going to talk about our stories, ones that have are real stories and some that maybe we create in our head that are not real stories. So first, and we all do it, we all do these things. So first of all, our real stories. We all have a story, probably more than one, but I feel like either it's a story that we're ashamed of. Maybe it's a story that we are letting hold us back from moving on, and it's following us around like a gray cloud hovering overhead. And maybe it's a story that we're just not accepting or we don't talk about. And regardless of what the story is, accept it, embrace it. It's your story. And we all have things in our past that maybe we're not proud of, maybe we're hanging on to. Whatever it is, I just want to tell you that today, I want you to accept it, own it, and let it go and move on. Because you get to choose from here moving forward what your story is. You can make a new story. You can move on from that story. It doesn't matter. We've all done things. Yesterday is yesterday. It's the past. There's a reason it's the past. So I am giving you permission to move on from whatever is holding you back. Let it go. I think sometimes we don't even realize that's what's holding us back. Maybe it's creating a fear that you don't want to embarrass yourself again, make a mistake again, fail again. Maybe it's a fear of someone learning it and you being embarrassed. I promise they have a story too. So don't let anybody make you feel ashamed or bad about something in your past. Mistakes are supposed to happen. Mistakes are supposed to help us learn and move forward. Failing is supposed to help us learn and move forward. If you're not making mistakes and failing, you're not growing and moving forward. And I think sometimes we've created this world, and for our kids and for us, that we're so scared of embarrassment or making a mistake or failing that we don't even step out into what we truly are made for, or what our purpose is, or what God has laid on our heart that we want. So today, I'm telling you, you get to choose what you do from here moving forward. You get to choose what you take from your past and from your stories. You get to choose if you're going to let it go and move on and go somewhere else today and moving forward. Embrace it. Accept what's happened in the past, learn from it, and move on. And you get to choose. It's your choice. So it's yours to grow from, it's yours to learn from, and possibly you could truly benefit from whatever that is in the past and grow from it. And I want you to see it that way moving forward. It doesn't define who you are. Nothing defines who you are. You get to define what you get to do today and moving forward. Okay? So everything that happens to us happens for a reason, and we get to choose what we get from it. We get to choose what we're going to get out of it. So from here moving on, I say it over and over, but I think it's so important to say you get to choose. In all that you do, you always have a choice. So choose what it is you want moving forward. Give yourself grace or someone else grace. Forgive yourself, forgive someone else, and choose again moving forward. Because when we know better, we do better. Mel Robbins says that all the time. I love her. You know, I refer to her a lot, but when you know better, you get to do better. So moving on from our stories that we're now going to accept, embrace, learn from, grow from, move on from, shake it. If it's a gray cloud, I want you to bust through it and move on from it. But I also want to talk about these stories, and it's kind of similar to what I just said, that we're making up in our head. Whether it's from a past story or it's something that's not even going on, I think our minds are so powerful. I think sometimes we have things spinning around in our head that's not even true. It's never even happened. It might never happen, but we create it in our head and we let it spin out of control. A lot of time it's worry, it's fear. All of these things are just such a waste of energy. They give us nothing but worry, and it's not good for our health. It's more stress. It becomes this big bubble of fear in our head. So, for example, maybe with your kids, maybe your kid does something stupid at school, gets in trouble, and all of a sudden, by the end of the night or the end of the day or the middle of the night when you wake up, you have created this story in your head that your kid is going to become, who knows, some terrible person in the future because of these mistakes they're making. And all of a sudden you have yourself so worried that you haven't parented right, you haven't done right, you've taken a step back. During COVID, you relaxed too much. Whatever it is, don't let a small mistake or a small something that's happened create a huge story in your head, create all this fear that's not even necessary. Remember, we're supposed to make mistakes. And let us learn from our mistakes. And I read something the other day relating to this story with our kids and letting fear, become out of control. And it said, don't pray that your kids don't make mistakes or that your kids, always do the right thing. Pray that if they are going to do something wrong or make a mistake, that they get caught. Because then they learn from it. That's what mistakes are supposed to do for us. They learn from it. And if you should look at it and try to be around people that look at it that way, where you want them to love your kids through their mistakes, because we're all supposed to make them, us too as adults, and we learn from them. So other stories you can make up with relationships, friendships, jobs, or dreams that you have. I think a lot of times with dreams that we have, we make up stories in our head that, maybe everyone thinks our dream's stupid, or we can't accomplish that, or we're not good enough for that, or we're not going to make it. Whatever it is that you're making up, you have to put those stories to the side. Whatever it is that's spinning in your head that's bothering you. Comparison story, a story of fear, a story, something you're worrying about that hasn't even happened. I want you to pick that story apart and say to yourself, do I really know anything that even makes this story true? Maybe it's a relationship or a friendship, and all of a sudden you think this person might be upset with you, or this person you haven't heard from in a long time. So maybe you think that maybe you said something that upset them, or for some reason they don't want to be around you anymore. All of these stories, and I hear these stories through, people, and I say to them sometimes, I'm like, you don't even know that that's true. You've just created that story. I hear it from my kids sometimes if they don't hear from a friend. Maybe they have other friends now, Mom. They don't like me anymore. They don't want to be around me. No, just because you don't hear from someone does not mean they don't like you or they don't want to be around you. That is a story you're making up in your head. If the person says that to you or treats you bad, or the story really is there, okay, then maybe we need to learn from it. But don't make up a story that is not even true. Or say in a relationship, a marriage, I think we do that a lot. We create a story and all this. I know I've done it before, and we get upset with our spouse when maybe they haven't even done what we think they've done. Maybe, they didn't follow through on something, or they didn't communicate with you about something, or they didn't, do what you thought they were going to do. Again, sometimes we make these things up. So I just want you to be clear in your head about the story you're telling yourself. And if something's upsetting you, you're comparing, or you're just telling yourself something that's, just got you all wound up, pick it apart and say to yourself, is any of this true? And I want you to give it up to God, because if you're worrying and worrying and worrying, you are not practicing your faith. You are not truly giving it to God and believing in Him. So this week, I want us to create an anchor thought. And Mel Robbins talks a lot about this if you want to Google more of anchor thoughts. But you're going to create what it is. It's a positive thought that you go to when your thoughts start getting out of control. So you start paying attention to your thoughts this week. And if you feel like they're getting out of control, whether it's worry, stress, or if you're starting to create something in your head that's getting you worked up, you're going to have an anchor thought that you can go back to, and it's going to distract you and bring you forward in a good, positive way. It'll pull you out of that negative mindset, that current mindset you're feeling, and bring you into a better one. And just keep it simple. It can be when you start feeling stressed or like, something's worrying you or bothering you, make it a very simple, positive, hopeful thought. Simple to bring you back. It can be, I am confident in myself. I am brave. I can handle this. I am strong. I can do everything with my faith in God. Whatever it is, make it a very simple, positive, strong anchor thought, and you're going to go back to it. I want you to write it down. Write it in your planner, write it on your mirror, write it on your computer, put a sticky note. And whenever you start spinning out of control, go to your anchor thought. And it's just like anything else. It's a small thing that you start becoming aware of, a small choice that you start making. And when you're very intentional about it, you can pay attention to it every day, all week long. And then you just bring it back, and then it becomes a habit. It's a practice that you're doing, and you just get better at it. And you'll be surprised how your mind will stop spinning out of control, or you'll notice it quicker so you don't even go down that road. And just grab that anchor thought and redirect your thought and say it over and over and over to get you into a better place. So very simply, I just want you to pay attention to your thoughts this week. Stop making up stories in your head and create that anchor thought. So when you start spinning out of control, you go to a positive thought. Very, very simple. And if you want to Google Mel Robbins anchor thought, she'll have videos on it and even more information on it if you want to hear more about it. And you have to remember your mind, and I say it all the time, it's so powerful, and it will believe every single thing you tell it, everything you tell it. So be so kind how you're talking to yourself. Be so hopeful. Speak the truth. Speak love. Speak kindness. It really, really, really matters. Be the voice of hope for you and for your family. A friend told me that this week, and actually we had a conversation that I recorded that's going to be on the podcast with so many good nuggets of information like that. But she said, if you feel like everything around you is not hopeful, all the people around you, you be the voice of hope. We need a voice of hope in our families these days. So you be the voice of hope. And I know you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. We get to choose, and it only makes us feel better. So this week, create your anchor thought and be the voice of hope for yourself and for your family. Have a great week, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye. I appreciate you sharing this time with me today. I am grateful you are here. And if you have anyone that you feel could also benefit from this encouragement, please share it with them today. You can also add a quick review on iTunes, which would mean the world to me and help me just to make this better for each and every one of you out there. I will be here each week, so please be sure to subscribe to the podcast or join me at kellyrenato.com to get the latest episode and more tools to help you on your journey to feel your best and enjoy every single day exactly where you are. I would love to have you join my journey, and let's all add good, healthy vibes anywhere we can, every single day. Enjoy your week and embrace the season you're in, and I look forward to next week. Take care. Bye-bye.